if I served you an absolutely magnificent meal, but one of the prongs of your fork was out of alignment, you couldn't enjoy the meal.
Yeah.
End of.
So true.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I call a silent irritant.
Yeah, lovely.
Because it's not something that you're going to call the waiter over and go, excuse me, you're going to put up with it, but it still devalues your enjoyment. And what we try to do is to annihilate those silent irritants. So if you look in the restaurant, for example, all of the tables have 3 points on the floor. So 3 legs.
They will never wobble.
So they can't wobble. So that irritant of that happens to everybody.
so
when you
good.
go into
Yes,
a restaurant,
that one has 4, actually.
yeah, well, this is okay. It doesn't wobble because it's on a carpet. So
Oh, sorry,
that's the trick.
Okay, fair enough.
Rory, what would you say the silent irritants are in like a completely different category?
They're very often, that's really interesting. One of the criticisms I'd make of marketing is it spends a lot of time trying to amplify the positives rather than remove the negatives.
Yeah.
And the negatives are interesting because they're often experienced and felt, but not really spoken. You don't really capture them in market research.
Yeah.
No one would say, I was going to have a meal, but the table was wobbly, so I didn't.
Or the light was too bright.
Oh, you've got an example.
Or I smelled something that I didn't know what it was.
By the way, in this category, one thing as a 59-year-old is menus you can't fucking read.
There's a perfect example.
When you see people with their mobile phone shining a torch onto the menu.
Even worse, menus you can't understand.
Yeah.
You know, words, chefs are always putting words on there. I eat out every day and I still find words that I don't know that I've got to look, oh, fucking hell, it's lettuce.
Why is that a status?
didn't
Is
you
that a
say?
status thing? Do you reckon? A status thing of the chefs to sort of say like, I'm not better than you, but we're using ingredients. Why do people do that?
I'll give you a silent irritant, okay? Calls may be recorded for quality control purposes, okay? Yeah. So particularly if you get cut off and you have to listen to the whole spiel all over again. What I'd like the government to do is literally to email everybody and just say, you now understand that all calls may be recorded for quality control purposes.
Oh, you know
Tick
they
this
are.
box and accept it. And literally you will get 2 hours of your life back.
Yeah.
Okay. Unidentified object in the bagging area, by the way.
Oh God! No, yeah.
Which also, because it's spoken out loud, this is a classic case. It's not just annoying, it's mildly humiliating. Because it's broadcasting to other people in the checkout, this fucker doesn't know what he's doing. Okay. Some things are really interesting in terms of silent irritants, which is something.
Can I give you a great one?
Go on.
From
Yeah,
pubs
please.
That you see everywhere is we take no responsibility for your stuff getting stolen.
Thank you.
That's so true.
Basically, fuck you. We're not going to look after your bag. And also, if it does get nicked, don't come to us about it. Because by the way, it happens here all the time. So obviously not here, but that's what the sign actually says if you think about it.
Basically, do not enjoy your evening. Spend it in a state of mild anxiety. Okay. I mean,
Clutching your bag.
there's a brilliant one which is. And by the way, I by and large venerate Marks and Spencer's. I think they're extremely good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
But Marks and Spencer's in Sevenoaks, in the elevator, in the lift from the car park, says if you've got a problem, i.e., being fined in what is effectively their car park, don't come to us. I can't remember the exact word, but it says you must contact the car park operator directly or whatever. And I kind of go, look, actually, this is your problem. Okay, I won't go into the details about why people get fined unfairly, but it's all to do with number plate recognition and bullshit like that. But no, I mean, really weird silent irritants, which literally nobody knows about, is that a large part of the irritation and stress of being in a queue is the people behind you.
Yeah.
And it's the feeling that there are people behind you sort of watching you and judging you. So one of the things McDonald's discovered is they discovered that the longer the queue was, the more people sort of fucked up their order. And you go, well, if you've been waiting for 6 minutes in a queue, you should be word perfect by the time you get to the front of the queue. What it turns out, and I only discovered this by accident before I researched it. And the reason was I used to board the Eurostar at Ebbsfleet. And I noticed that if you went through security and you were the last person going through, it was a completely unstressful experience. Whereas the feeling that other people were going, that dickhead's forgotten to take his belt off or whatever it is, that was what made it stressful in part.
It's really interesting.
No one would consciously ever say that. What I hate about a queue is the people behind me.
No, because it's while it's in your mind.
It's in your mind. It's felt, not thought.
You don't want to elucidate it, and therefore it's silent. It becomes silent. And we have to look out for these things all of the time.
I love your example of
say, like,
we do not take responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what you were saying earlier, Rory, about how a lot of people amplify the positives in marketing but don't think about the negatives.
Yeah.
So you say that basically Amazon Prime is basically just removing the negatives.
Yeah,
Everything, all the silent irritants.
Amazon has been pretty astute at removing negatives. Yeah,
This is like the Amazon Primification of pulling Guinness. Like, it just fucking goes out like that. It's like that. The speed of service here is mad.
Well, I've always felt that
What's
people.
the art of that?
Well, there's two sides to it. One, it's really annoying when you're waiting at a bar and somebody is slowly pouring 1 pint at a time.
Yeah.
When you know that they can pour 4, or that the beer can be sped up. But secondly, it's a commercial bit. You know, if you can't be good when you're busy, then you're less likely to ever be busy. Because when you're busy, it's the time that people are at the maximum point of enjoying what you're doing. So to be really good when you're busy is the absolute key. This thing where you go into like a stadium bar at halftime and you've got to wait 10 minutes to get a pint, which means you've only got 3 at the end before the game kicks off again. Why?
Yes.
Why can't they just have the beer ready? Why can't you prepare and pay for it? Why can't you there's ways of doing it. And we've worked out a way of doing it here that nobody ever waits. And
what is that system?
Do you produce beer in advance of it being?
No, we don't. We never do. That's very important that we don't.
Say that again. Sorry, the
batch processing.
Yeah.
So you could pour a Guinness now in anticipation that someone's going to request.
No, that's one thing we don't do.
Okay.
What we have done is put extra taps in. They're faster taps, and when somebody orders, it gets filled immediately. The money's taken by somebody else, and the next person is done. So we can do multiple orders at the same time rather than doing one at a time.
Here's a silent irritant, by the way. Coffee shops, which is, I know why they do it. They don't actually charge you until the end, okay? But as a result, while they're making their coffee, I'm standing around with my phone in my hand like a dickhead.
Yeah.
And actually, what I want to do is pay, scan the loyalty card, put my phone away, wait for the coffee.
Yeah.
But instead, because they have, and I'm sure there's a reason for the policy, because they have this policy of people don't like being charged until they've got their coffee. But I actually I think that's actually changed. I think with cash, it might have worked that way.
Yeah.
I think when you're paying by phone, something different happens.
Well, I don't know whether it's an Irish
I'm
thing.
intrigued by the fact that someone else takes the money.
Yeah. Well, it just works easier because you got one person doing that one job, taking the money, making sure.
So it's Henry Ford. This is Henry Ford.
It is.
It's
It's marginal gains always.
Fantastic.
When you do things.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped Islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel, and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.